bruh, nah. Like, let me know. Like, we about to do this. And then hit us with the welcome. Like, I won't scoot it up or nothing, bruh.
As always, I am Danny, and in front of me is Dan.
How you doing, man?
I'm blessed, man. How about yourself?
I'm blessed as well.
That's good, man. Today we joined by a special guest, distinguished brother, popular on the Twitterverse.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? What's up?
How you get so popular on Twitter?
I had a tweet, man.
One tweet?
Yeah,
Did
one
it all?
tweet. It did its thing.
You single?
I'm single.
Damn, brother.
I mean,
Can he introduce himself?
I want to. I'm like, do the Twitter hoes, do they come from the tweets or nah? They quiet?
Twitter just supposedly has hoes.
I'm trying to find out. I don't know.
I mean, you sound pretty confident, like you know about.
I'm confidently asking about something I have no idea about.
Yeah, I'm single.
One fun fact about
Look,
yourself.
one fun fact about myself. I am a licensed insurance agent. I don't know if that's a fun fact, but
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's a definitely interesting fact. But I think it kind of segues back into that tweet, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Oh, what's the original tweet?
The original tweet was black men deal with trauma by trying to get rich.
So that's why you became licensed?
Nah, I'm saying like,
I
so what I'm saying is it segue back in because I've kind of always had like a wealth consciousness, so to speak. I've been licensed since I was 19, 24.
Sheesh.
Yeah, so I've been at
Damn, you like 24?
Yeah.
Make you
Nah,
feel
I
old.
remember.
Yeah, no.
Damn, I remember 24. Oh, that was a good year.
I can't relate, brother. Still young.
Oh man, but yeah. So, why do you think that black men expound on that a bit? Why do you think black men deal with trauma by trying to get rich? Or is that just something that black men do, or something that men do in general?
Or people.
I think it's well when I made the tweet, it wasn't like out of a place of singling a group of people out. It really came from self-reflection. Like I was really just thinking about myself and like obstacles that I've overcome and how I kind of combated them, right? And I was like, damn, like black men deal with trauma by trying to get rich. But what really like did it for me, or put the icing on the cake, so to speak, I listened to a lot of Future. I listened to a lot of Meek, a lot of Jay-Z.
Toxic niggas. Okay, Jay-Z. Yeah. All right, never mind. You good?
So, you know what I'm saying, just like listening to their music, you know what I'm saying, just kind of beating it in my head, like, it was just like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just seemed like a universal thing, so.
Because they from the hood, and they rapping about essentially money,
it up,
clothes,
that's how you
know, expensive shit.
But I think that's the...
That is, now that you put it that way, that's dope that I see it.
That's the iffy and tricky part, because that's all our culture sees. So, like, how are we supposed to know to do anything else? Like, even if we wanted to deal with trauma another way, how are we supposed to find out the other way? If nothing or nobody around us is showing us another way.
What do you think is the way?
Bruh, I don't know. Like, I be dealing with my own stuff.
But how do you deal with it? How do you deal with your trauma?
Like, come back to me. Let me think about it. You did. I mean, I can answer, but I don't want to sit here for like 2 minutes thinking about it. But like,
think about it. What comes back?
I avoid it. I find other stuff to balance it out. So say like my trauma is not being good at, this is going to be a completely random example, not being good at baseball, right? So I'm going to just be good at basketball so nobody's even going to think about my downfall in baseball. But that's my example. Like I find other stuff to compensate for the traumas or the insecurities that I deal with.
I just knew you were going to say not being good at basketball.
No, I'm nice. I would never put that out in the universe. So, but no, I think that's the answer. I find other stuff to compensate for it.
Yeah.
But the tricky part with me is when that compensation don't work. So now you gotta face it. I still haven't figured out how to face it in those times. Like, so again, it's like, all right, I'm so nice at basketball, nobody's thinking about me playing baseball, but just one day, somebody with a ball in the bat, like, dang, I gotta go up there. Now I'm trying to find excuses, run for me. I'm like, damn, I'm about to be exposed. It's like, all you gotta do is try it. All you gotta do is like face it head on, and you never know what can happen because 9 times out of 10, those traumas or those insecurities come from an old place or a place of just not being sure. And if you try things, then you can realize that, okay, you didn't have no reason to think that way, or you did, now you can build on it and grow. Like, don't be afraid to grow and try things, so.
You can go a lot of ways with that, but I want to give you an opportunity to answer.
I feel like, for me, like you said one thing, you was like, you know, we kind of mask our insecurities by trying to be great in other areas, right? And me personally, like I face my insecurities head on, and I feel like I'm a very rare dude in that regard. Just because I feel like my insecurities are true and unique to me. You know, I feel like my insecurities are a way or a means of me to find some sort of growth, so to speak. I know a lot of people who deal with insecurities about themselves by trying to like mask it with clothes, you know, trying to have like a lot of women, if I'm speaking on dudes perhaps, of course like money and stuff, but whatever I'm insecure about within myself, like regardless of what I accumulate or what I attain, it's still gonna be there at the foundational root if I don't tackle it head. Yeah, if I don't tackle it head on. So I've never been a confrontational person when it comes to other people, but I've never been the type of person to shy away from what I'm feeling, how I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess you would say I wear my heart on my sleeve. So whatever I'm feeling, whatever I'm going through, like I'm gonna address it head on. So in that regard, you know, man, I just gotta be, you know, I just deal with my shit as it comes to me. You know what I'm saying?
Is that just how you're wired, or you saw somebody else like that, or somebody taught you that?
No, I'll definitely say I'm wired this way, but I got it from my dad. You know, my dad didn't necessarily teach me this. It was just kind of through observation. You know what I'm saying? My dad is an alpha male. His sons are alpha males. You know what I'm saying? So
you got brothers, older brothers? Or?
So I'm the oldest.
Okay.
Have 3 younger siblings.
Okay.
3 younger brothers.
Okay.
And 1 young sister. Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah. Think about that for a second.
What's your thoughts, brother? I'll let you.
For me, like you, I think I'm still determining which traumas affect me and how to confront them. So, like, I think the biggest thing is my relationship with my dad. Like, when I was and I was telling a story to somebody the other day, and that's what made me think about it, is when I was young, like, my parents got divorced, but my dad, I would probably see him maybe 2-3 times a year, tops. So once I started to become like that middle school age, and you start to really, you know, look for your dad, want to be around your dad, I didn't have that from my dad. I had my stepdad. Yeah. But I wanted it from my dad. So I remember like.
What was that? Was that because he was like, I don't mean to cut you off, but was that because you knew the difference between a stepdad and dad, or like what?
Yeah. Okay. Like my stepdad, love him.
Yeah.
Appreciate everything he did, but never was gonna be my dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I was playing sports at the time. I was playing baseball, and
look at there.
How?
Look at there.
But I was really good at baseball. My dad played baseball in college, so that was something we really bonded over. Yeah. But when I felt like I needed him to push me and, you know, be there, he wasn't. So then I went to basketball because it was easier. All my friends did it in the neighborhood. I don't have to, you know what I'm saying? I don't need a male figure to push me to do it. So when I was younger, the way I dealt with that was journaling. And my mom found my journal one time. And you ever get mad?
Nosy. Yeah,
but you ever get mad at your parents like, I hate them bullshit.
I remember one time I ran outside, just started saying every cuss word all the time.
But I would
when I went back inside, I didn't say a word.
I would get mad at my stepdad, and I'd be like, bruh, don't touch me, like, you're not my dad. Like, I was starting to get combative.
Yeah.
So my mom was like, she checked me and was like, you have some things that you are dealing with your dad, and you need to let him know. So I wrote him a letter and told him how I felt. But we have never had the conversation about it.
Oh, so like he never acknowledged it?
Never.
Have you ever brought it up?
No.
Would you want to? Like, but
that's the thing.
Didn't you feel the same? Like, it's totally.
I mean, it's still
the foundation of it, maybe.
Yeah, like there's still something there that's missing between. There's a wall built up between me and my father.
Yeah.
Love him. Yeah. But I don't think he knows me on the way that my mother and my sister.
Yeah.
So
absolutely not. Y'all weren't in the same household. So.
Yeah, and as I get older and he gets older, I don't want to now live with that regret. If something happens, like damn, I never really got to know my dad, and we never really had that.
But do you think that's on you to sort of, because like you can't force him to do that.
Yeah,
like,
of course,
so like, are you driving yourself crazy trying to do it? Or are you like, I'm gonna try my end, but he got to reciprocate, or how you approaching it?
I'm to the point now where I'm becoming strong enough to be that uncomfortable with confronting the situation.
That's powerful.
But I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I aspire to get to that point because I don't want to live with the regret of, you know, just it being the way it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but I still haven't got there yet. And I don't know how I will. I guess just time, but.
Now, this makes me wonder something. Me and you both said that we struggle with it in figuring out how to deal with it. He said he faces it head on, and he's younger. So I wonder, and this is respectfully, so I wonder if one, he just got a leg up, and I don't mean that like, oh, he's ahead of us, and now he's just him.
Yeah.
Or if when he gets older, he may realize that I didn't have a handle on it like I thought. So I'm wondering. So I'm curious, like when just life plays out. I just know for me personally, I'm learning more every single day. Every single day. I'm in a new employment situation. And what that has taught me is truly, you know how they say you gotta travel, see places, do things. It's literally taught me like, you only know what you're exposed to.
Yeah.
So you can talk about this, you can talk about that all day, but until you go over there, you ain't gonna have no idea about what's happening over there. It can expose you to a whole new light, a whole new scenery, a whole new light. Like you never know. And I just think that's like so unique. Like the simplest things of like having somebody properly onboard me. Like I didn't know people did that. I didn't know companies really did that. You know what I'm saying? Like something as simple as that. I guess you can equate it to like a relationship, you know, being in a tough situation and then getting in like a happy one. Like, yeah, we actually don't gotta argue every day. I don't know how to do this.
Right.
Like it's like, but you don't know how it is, or like you don't know that you don't gotta go to your significant other's phone or whatever the case may be. Like you don't know until you try. So I just think that's unique. Like it's a lot of life, and I think whether you got it all together or we don't, whatever the case, I think it's just important that we acknowledge that we all have insecurities, and that like they just have to. I ain't gonna say they have to be faced like you gotta hit them straight on, but just acknowledge them. Like start somewhere and then build up to it because this I'm about to be talking a lot because this is bringing me to a segue.
Wrap it up.
My bad. because it's just I don't forget what I was gonna say because it's gonna bring you down. I think that's what I was gonna say.
It's gonna bring me down.
I was gonna say you threw me off. But what I was trying to get to is. When you're dating, like, and you bring in somebody else into your life, it's important to know that your partner's not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
So.
That's a crazy segment.
Look, I
was going to get there correctly if you didn't interrupt me. But I think.
That's crazy how this is unfolding.
Right, Mike. I was driving a whole different direction, brother.
My bad, bro. What you want me to do?
No, I don't want to cut you off, but I'm saying, like, I had a girl that messaged me about that in regards to this tweet, right? She was like, and this is when I started posting it like on my Instagram, like promoting it for you guys. And she messaged me. She said, "Do you think heartbreak like constitute as a trauma?"
Hell yeah.
I said, "Hell yeah!" Like what? That's a yes. And I'm saying it from the regards of, from the perspective of the first thing a dude wants to do after a bad breakup is either get some money or get some new, some new situation going on, right?
Yeah.
And then I guess in reverse, I can't speak on women, but they're trying to find a way to level up themselves too, right? But
instead of dealing with it.
Yeah, instead of dealing with it. But for me, anytime I've had like a negative relationship, well, I won't say negative, a relationship that didn't end the way which she and I anticipated it. Like I said, I just attack. And I'm gonna say attack. I'm gonna put emphasis on attack. I always attack whatever it is that I'm dealing with head on. So this tweet really came from a place of self-reflection about how I feel about myself and how I cope with not just relationships, but also personal things that I don't like society to know about me. But this is what I will say, right? In order to gain confidence with anything, you have to do hard shit.
Facts.
That will give you the most confidence ever, and I really pride myself on overcoming a lot of hard shit that I don't talk about, you know what I'm saying?
That's why they say don't take no shortcuts and ain't no easy way. Like you can, but that ain't gonna make the best you.
Yeah,
It's just not.
So my confidence, my aura really stems from not me just being egotistical in the way of I feel like I'm God body, but it's like nah. It's like the way I thought about overcoming obstacles, the way I planned it out, and the way I overcame those obstacles. You know, it gave me reassurance and just self-confidence within. You know what I mean?
I think that's my bad. I ain't gonna cut you off.
You good.
But I think that's an important lesson to learn is that you can't grow being comfortable
at all.
So it's baby steps. You know, if you can't swim, you gotta get in 5 feet at least and try to float around. You're gonna be uncomfortable, but once you get comfortable, all right, I can move to 6 feet. Okay, now I can go to the lake.
But that's like that, brother.
Hey, but still, now you're growing as in you're adding a new skill. Now I'm a swimmer. You know what I'm saying? So at each level that you get to in life, I think you have to embrace some
discomfort.
Point of discomfort. And once you stop embracing that, I feel like that's when you slowly just start to wither away.
That's when you start developing insecurities. When you don't know how to think for yourself, when you don't know how to do for yourself, that's when you start to become insecure about yourself, you know?
Because you're relying on others, other people's opinions, like other people's validation and all that. I got a lot to say. I want to ask you, like, when you attack things, how do you know when to stop attacking? Like, okay, I got this on lock, or do you do you give your time to process, or do you like, oh, I accomplished that, I'm good? Do you actually like reflect to see if you're actually good? That's the first thing I want to say. And then when you were like, be confident in yourself, and I was saying like, don't rely on others. Like, I feel like at times humans, male, female, whatever, we're so used to just existing, and you know how they say you can't just exist, you gotta live. Part of living is being logical and thinking, but like, what's the word, autonomous? Like, we act, we move. So it's just natural, like I'm talking, it's natural. Am I technically thinking about what I'm saying? Yes, but am I doing a deep dive? So when you have this confidence in yourself, I think it's important to also deep dive and make sure it's validated. It's legit, and it's not just like, oh, I overcome this, so I know I can handle this. I mean, in theory you can, but can you really? You know what I'm saying? When people are talking to themselves, make sure you talk to yourself realistically, logically, again, confidently. Don't put yourself down, because it all revolves around one another. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're gonna trick yourself and think you're confident in something, and you really ain't good at that just because you're good at this, you're gonna feel it later. But the attacking thing.
Okay, so as far as attacking, right?
Transition king.
So look, my man Robert Greene, he wrote the 48 Laws of Power. He says in the 48 Laws of Power, not to go past the mark in what you aim for. So when you're talking about me attacking things, once I get to that certain point where I know I can measure my growth, that's where I'm stopping it. That's my stopping point. I believe there's a fine line between accumulation of riches, accumulation of wealth, and just sheer greediness. You follow me?
Yeah.
And you not stopping at that point in which you set out for initially. Like, if I said, okay, look, I'm gonna climb to the top of this door handle over here, right? With just my straight hands. If I stop at that point, it's like, okay, I accomplished what it was that I set out to do. And that's just how I'm operating. That's how I operate. That's how I'm wired, right? But I know dudes who not necessarily are complacent, you know, they either aim too low or they aim too high. So it's nothing for them to measure because they're not getting anything done. You understand what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So, and that, you know, like I said, that's just what works for me. Like, if I have a certain dollar amount that I want to touch, like, I want to stack, you know, $20,000 in the next 30 days, right? That'll give me confidence, okay? Because I'm not just saying it like, yo, that's what I'm going to do. I'm thinking of how I'm going to do it, right? And asking yourself how is the fastest way to be introduced to your other self. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, like, I'm literally probably one of the most logical people you'll ever meet. I'm serious, and that's not like
I gotta know how girls react to that, but
oh my God, let's not talk about that.
You know they ain't loud.
They're not. Oh my God.
Go ahead.
Let's not talk about that.
Finish.
Actually, let's talk about that.
All right, let it out. Yeah.
We are going so
My
good.
bad, bro.
I'm
a logical nigga, so like I know how it is to try to have a logical conversation with a woman, man.
Words, King. Come on, bro.
Yeah, fact. Nah.
I mean,
but look, I'm
I
probably
hold it in high regard.
Okay, in what regards am I logical, right? So on the Myers-Briggs test, right, my personality type is ENTJ. the ENTJ personality type is like for the male species of humans, it's like 1.78% of the world's population, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy. The most notable ENTJ that we know of right now is Bill Gates. And I'm not trying to like compare myself to Bill Gates to say I'm on that type of level, but I just notice like patterns in the way I think about things, right? The way I see the world is kind of, and I'm about to sound like a nerd, but it's kind of almost like an algorithm, right?
Yeah.
It's like 5 types of mental personalities out here in the world, like personality types, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so it's kind of easy for me to identify who's who, what motivates them. You know, if I do this, their response, their reaction is going to be this. You know, that's how I think, right? Man, in terms of me being logical with that of the opposite sex.
Talk about it.
Man, listen. And to those of you listening at home, men and women alike, women do not want to hear your logic. They don't give a fuck about it. They don't care about it.
Why not, man? I don't get it.
Emotions.
If it
I
doesn't
truly don't get it.
If it doesn't make them feel, or it, yo, I had a girl legitimately. She'll hear this and I don't care. I had 2 girls do the same shit, right? They had a dream about me cheating on them.
I just posted something about
at the
that.
same time.
Yo, no, not 2 at the same time.
Oh,
2 totally different times. 2 totally different time frames. 2 totally different women, but they did the same shit. They had a dream that I cheated on them.
Got mad at you.
Got mad at them.
I literally just posted about
Look,
this.
one of them fired up on me, at least tried to, right? I'm like, yo, nigga, did you have like too much sugar before you went to sleep? Or like, what's the word? But women do not care about what is or what isn't. They only care about what you feel. Well, how they feel, excuse me. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's crazy. They don't even care about how we feel.
Yeah. So,
Sheesh.
you know, as a man, you know, that burden of performance is always going to be on you, right? And that's not just in the performance of like producing. It's also, you know, empathizing with your woman, you know, and being sensitive enough to where she, you know, can resonate with you on an emotional level. But
Since you brought up performance, you posted. What did you post of a man about the money thing? What did you say?
Oh yeah. Can a man keep a woman happy in a relationship if he doesn't have any money?
No. That shouldn't even be on his mind. If he doesn't have any money, if he doesn't have any paper at all, it costs to date, okay?
The OG TK Kirkland said, if you ain't got $25,000 in the bank, you shouldn't be dating.
Bro, you're broke if you have...
That's what he said.
Listen, you're broke.
That's what he said.
You're broke.
That's what said.
Listen, this is what Matt Monero
said?
says. Matt Monero says this, and y'all can quote me on this. He says, if you have $50,000 liquid cash, you just got out of broke. So if you don't have $50,000 liquid cash, I'm talking about not credit cards, liquid cash, you are broke.
So does that mean men shouldn't date till we accumulate 50K?
I wouldn't say 50.
Nah.
But you need to have some money.
Yeah, you need to have 6 figures if you really want to
date.
What? If you want to live, I said 50K.
Hey, I'm out here.
Listen. I said 50K is, yo. If you only have $50,000, you're broke. Or if you're just out of broke if you only have $50,000. Like I know some friends, man. Like I know some friends. I'm talking about,
I gotta have 6 figures.
yo.
Jeez. First of all, even if I had 6 figures, I'll be straight up. I'm not spending it on her like that. So all right, long as we clear.
Yeah, don't trick, man.
Yeah, all right, long as we clear.
Don't trick it off, but you know what I'm saying, like to do things and experience like comfortably. You know what I'm saying? I say 6 figures is. I don't think 100,000 is a lot of money, man.
And income?
Accumulated income, increment, whatever.
I mean, once you get 6 figures, though, that is a different level of life.
Yeah, because
It depends on the life you're trying to live.
Yeah, you're exposed to.
Like if I'm living this same life that I'm living now with 100K salary, I'm good.
Of course.
So that's the point. I'm good. So
are you good because you got that extra money?
Yeah. So I kind of don't have to worry about certain things.
That's the point.
But that's not my happiness though.
Oh yeah.
So that's different. I mean, it would. So here's my thing with that. It depends why he's broke. You know what I'm saying? If he's just lazy,
that's a fact.
if he's lazy, he's a bum. it's different. If he fell on hard times or she got win on win, maybe he's an aspiring rapper and he's about to blow. I don't know. But the point is, if he got a goal and he working towards it, and he maybe don't make what she making, whatever the case may be, he don't make enough to take her on 2 dates a month or whatever the case may be. But he's working. He keeps her happy. She got her own crib. He makes sure he cook and clean. Like, do stuff for her that he can do. He contributes. You know what I'm saying? Something that money can't make a person do. So say, I have all the money in this world, but I'm treating her like trash. She ain't happy. So at the end of for me, I think the money is an important component as far as being able to live life. Nobody wants to not be able to live life, do things, whether it's movies, eat, and all that, or nobody wants to have to take care of somebody that's grown adult. So in that regard, yes. But as far as the foundation of a relationship, I don't think it should be money. Because again, what COVID happens, I lose my job. Now I'm broke. You ain't happy no more?
But I think we're separating them. Whereas happiness can be the fact that you take care of her, you know what I'm saying? You treat her good, but then you also can take care of her if something happens to her financially. Mm-hmm. If that financial component goes away, you being at home and rubbing her feet every day gonna get old. She gonna be like, Tony can take me to the movies. Tony can take me on these trips.
Go with Tony.
You know what I'm saying? That's another component that I'm missing. So I think, in theory, yes, of course, you need more than money. But I think women, especially women in our community, because we've been broke, the majority of us have been broke our whole lives.
For generations.
Yeah. So we don't want that. Mm-hmm. So no woman is gonna want to be with a man who's broke or can't take care of it.
So when do you think? I feel like I got a couple questions. One, what age do you think people should start dating? Because realistically, a lot of people don't got money or don't got their stuff together at 18 or whatever the case may be first. And just answer that first.
Really dating? I think 25.
I think it depends, right?
Okay, you 25, you said, right?
No, I'll be 25 in May.
Okay.
So look, I think it depends. My parents have been together since they were 17, right?
Different generation,
right.
though. So
No, not even. Well, it is a different generation, but they're only 40. You know what I'm saying? My parents had me when they were my parents have been together since they were 16. They had me when they were 17. Excuse me. But they were broke when they, when they first started out. And, my father owns a few successful companies and everything. Mm-hmm. And so I think it just depends on, if you're with a woman and you're broke, you really get to see that woman's true character. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? In the same regards, they say when your man has everything, that's when you get to see his true character. You know what I'm saying? So I think it really just depends. If you're trying to build with somebody,
I'm gonna ride with you.
Yeah, I think 0 to 0. Yo, it's just me, it's just you, let's ride. Yeah, I'm with that. You know what I'm saying?
You don't got nothing going for you.
You gotta have something going for you. Whether it's money, the right mind, you gotta have something going for yourself. So that's what I will say.
You gotta have an actionable plan. You gotta have drive or ambition. You gotta show us something.
For sure.
Not just stagnant. For
sure.
Yeah.
As I think a woman should show a man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's underrated.
Can I have some on that?
Hey, I got you, man. I got you.
Yes.
They get by a lot of times because of their looks, and they know,
look good.
and they know, and they know.
One time.
And they. Hey, you up next, because I feel like at the end of the day, if I ain't gonna say real niggas, if real dudes ain't paying them attention just because they look, we ain't thirsty, we gonna approach them. They know they can get a random thirsty dude to pay them attention.
Instagram.
Exactly. Social media, so they good, they don't need to do much. So when they get a real dude to actually challenge them and be like, nah, this ain't enough. What? Oh, you look good. Yeah. Oh, you got vagina? Okay, so does she. What are you? What is your point here? What are you bringing to the table? Oh, you cute? Okay, so is she. So what are y'all bringing to the table? Cause men gotta bring everything to the table. Right. You gotta have the job, we gotta have the money, we gotta have the personality, we gotta have the height, we gotta have everything.
That's why I stopped. After I got out of whole phase, dating, constantly, I noticed that the women that I started to talk to, this sexual part was it didn't attract me anymore. And I can hang out with a chick 5-6 times, never touch her.
Cause you had your shit, you good.
Exactly.
So you not like what?
Never touch her. And he'll be like, yo, you're so hard to read. I don't know if you're interested. I'm like, nah, I just want to see what else you got besides that.
Yeah. I was chilling with a girl not too long ago. She said that exact same thing. Like, you're so hard to read. It's because I'm not pressed for like that physical stuff. Yeah.
Nah, let me. All right, so back in my day, so then you get them girls like, nah, he lame. He ain't trying to do. Bruh, like what? So now I'm letting God impress you.
Nah, you can't do nothing for me outside of that. So
yeah, like
I'm trying to push you, baby.
Yeah, I'm trying to help you be great. Yeah, I could have been smashed. Don't get me like, so don't get it twisted. Like I'm trying to be a gentleman and get to know you.
Right.
So
women ain't used to that.
They ain't, but they don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit, oh, they want to do the press them or X, Y, Z. They what? Hey, what you gonna do?
That brings me to I wanna end the episode talking about this because I think we've talked about it throughout the show, just without saying it. And you had mentioned it earlier, but I'm curious as of your thoughts on ego and what you think develops ego.
I think accomplishment. Well, I think it depends on the person, but for men, accomplishment entices our ego. And I think the ego isn't a bad thing to have. I think it's an essential tool for us to have, but it's not something for you to just throw it around. You have to bring your ego with you, right? So that other men aren't, I don't know. You know how we can be as men, competitive in every regard. You want to have that ego with you so that you can check a man whenever he's trying to press upon you, right? It's to be wielded like a sword, almost like a concealed, carried weapon, right? Yeah, you use it as needed, but you don't just throw it around, though. You know what I'm saying? I feel like as a man, it's definitely necessary. The only man or only being, so to speak, that I'm humble before is God. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else outside of that can get it.
Watch it.
I definitely got an ego. I think it's 50% legit, and I had to check my ego before I kept it going. It's 50% legit, and then the other 50% is handled with trauma. But either way, I stand behind it. Like even if it's trauma, I'm standing on whatever I'm talking about. Like,
so you're saying 50% of it is developed from trauma, and 50% of it is
me legit.
Who you really are.
Yeah. So
break down the trauma part, bro.
All right, so I'm probably gonna have to break down both to get to the place, to get to the destination. So, shoot, dad,
break it down, bro.
I'm trying to break it down. So the trauma part. Remember earlier in the episode, I said, I do other things to compensate.
Okay.
So the ego is me telling myself, you're good at this. You better than that, or you can accomplish this X, Y, and Z, and the first 50%, that's actually me, that's true. But the majority of I'm not saying majority of my life, but majority of my interactions with other people or other areas in my life that aren't in my control is a reaction to the trauma. So if I'm not in control, I'm probably reacting. I'm letting my trauma ego take control.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm talking to Danny like, yo, let's go hoop, I initiated. So that's me being 100,000% confident.
Yeah.
If Danny's coming to me like, yo, I'm a hoop, bro, I'm a smoking on that court, I'm good. That's my ego talking. Yeah. My trauma ego. Like, I don't know if I
know I whoop that ass. That's
so I don't know if I'll be successful, but it's my hope that the ego that comes from my trauma is gonna be enough adrenaline to get me through whatever I'm trying to get through in that situation. So whether that's work, that's with a woman, whether that's with a friend, whether that's me being at the crib telling myself, oh, I can lift this weight, or I can do all 5 of these things in this evening at one time, I guess I'm going to find out. But the ego is going to carry me, and so right now I'm working on acknowledging, okay, which ego is it? And if it is, either it doesn't matter which one it is, but is it justified? Like, why am I relying on ego? Like, do I even really want to do this? Or am I just boosting my head because I know I can do it, or I'm boosting my head because I'm trying to avoid something else? So I'm working on that, but again, like I said, we're autonomous, so I'm just going. So oftentimes I don't slow down and think about it. So now I'm currently working on slowing down and thinking about what's what and the why behind that to figure out if I actually need to do it or don't need to do it. And I'm also giving myself grace, okay? Because again, what's today? Thursday? I know X, Y, and Z Thursday. I may not think about what I'm doing in the moment, but tomorrow when I wake up, I can reflect.
Yeah.
So realizing that you don't have to always figure it out in that moment, and sometimes just being human. Try things, you might regret it, sure. You might make a mistake, sure. But you gotta live. So reflect on the next day. That's where I'm at with it, man.
Yeah, that's a fact. I also think,
Thanks.
can I just add
Yeah,
this?
yeah,
real
yeah.
quick? I also think it's important to keep your ego in check. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you don't have you biting off way more than you can chew. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh, I know it.
yeah, bite off more than you can chew. You know what I'm saying? You're choking on opportunity. So yeah, keep that ego in
I'm gonna
check.
tweet
bro.
that. Bite off more than you can chew on
Some-
choking opportunity.
So I got some, follow me on Twitter, yo. Jae__Rhodes, RHODES. You know, black men deal with trauma by trying to get rich. If you like gems like that, yeah, come
I don't
check me
want
out.
to choke my opportunity, bro. Opportunity's so precious. It don't come out like once every, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Like you, I think that ego is something that is a part of us.
Yeah, for sure.
I consider it. It's funny that you said that you sometimes think without thinking. I've been reading this book called the difference between or the power between thinking fast and slow.
Mm-hmm.
And the author writes that we have two different systems in which we think, intuitively and one more slow.
Yeah.
And we want to operate in the intuitive thought because it's easy and quick, and we shy away from the more slow and methodological approach to thinking.
Just like life.
Yeah, and I look at ego the same way. As ego is our lower self, whereas our true selves are our higher self, our consciousness, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And especially in this age, social media, everything like that, it's so easy to be reminded of our lower self and operate in that lower self egotistical way.
Yeah.
And if you don't have something that can keep you grounded and level out and bring you back to your higher self, you're going to self-destruct.
Facts. Facts.
So it's
Something gonna level you out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
And that's another thing that I thought about while you were talking was when you meet somebody, like when somebody says like, oh, we have a vibe, da da da. Usually it's something about you and that person. Y'all operating on the same level. You're on the same wavelength. Y'all may be in a similar position in your careers. You may have a similar mindset. You may like similar things. So y'all vibrate at the same level.
Yeah.
And if you're with people who are constantly operating in ego, you're gonna constantly operate in ego.
Yeah.
So I just want to wrap that up and say, raise your vibration, man.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Me? Are you telling me to? I'm like, that's messed up. Why you singling me out, man? Goodness gracious.
That's all I got. You got anything
All right.
else?
I just want to say this is totally unrelated, just so you know.
Yeah.
Next time your ego tells you to stay on Call of Duty, get off of Call of Duty, hop on 2K, because niggas got bit. So that's all I want to say. Your ego, that was your ego, brother. And I just want you to acknowledge that.
I'm loyal.
Alright, loyal to your ego, got it.
If you in the field with your squad and they need a shooter, you gonna leave them? They in gunfire.
I need a shooter on the court, man. But, you know.
It's like a duck, brother.
Literally though, right?
Alright, appreciate you, man.
That's love,
Thank
man.
you.
I appreciate y'all for having me.